Hey everybody, Wordspinner here, bringing you Miragold with another fun endeavor. So what are we going to explore today? We're thinking Godzilla versus Mothra. Nope, not that. Grok versus ChatGPT. That's the topic today. Brand new experience for us working with Grok, and we get to explore it with Miragold. Take it away, girl.
Oh, let me tell you, I am not on Twitter very often at all. So I've been wanting to play with Grok, but like you said, this is a brand new experience. So let's see what happens here. As you can see on screen, I have Grok. Now, I did find that there's a Grok 2 beta here, which is the mini is supposed to be for fast. It's a fast capable model, but Grok 2 beta is their most intelligent model right now. So I figured, okay, we're going to go with that one right now. I have no idea what the fun mode is, but I guess we'll try that at some point. But today, I definitely want to take some of the prompts that we have, Cece, and I want to see what it does if we run the same prompt on both Grok and on ChatGPT. So here we go. Just to give you all an idea of what we're going to be doing, I went ahead and pulled some information up here. And this is our Grok test. And I have stored all the information inside of Atticus. As you can see on screen, a little short synopsis of what we want to play with. And we are playing with a cozy mystery. It's about a magical infused town. We have a couple of characters listed. We have the Sacred Grove. We have a darkness the characters must face. We have a climatic battle at the Grove. So let's see, taking this little short synopsis, what that's going to do for us. Now, in addition to this little synopsis, I also have a cozy mystery template. So as you can see, it tells the LLM to write it out. Here is the template. We all know I like templates. So this template basically just tells it to come up with the plot points and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that little synopsis here. And just so that you see that I'm using the same prompt on both, I'm just going to plug that in here. And I'm just going to do Control A. I'm going to copy that whole thing. Let's go plug that into Grok and see what that does. But while that is processing, I want to go ahead and take a look at ChatGPT as well. Now, I do tend to like to use the GPT-4 legacy model. That's where I'm going to put it in as well. Let's take a look and see where both of those are taking our content. So let me go back to Grok. I'm going to pull this over a tad bit so that we can see both windows. So as you can see, wow. So we have the same title. We have a tagline. Magic binds them, darkness finds them. Here, the tagline in Grok is where magic meets mystery. We have the same genre on both sides. Let's see. Grok says that it's lighthearted, whimsical, and magical, whereas Chat says that it is whimsical, magical, with an undercurrent of mystery. More or less the same thing. What do you think, Cece?
In line so far.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. It's a quaint, magical, infused town. Same thing, nestled in a mystical valley. We have our characters. Let's see, an enchanted library. Let's make sure we can see both sides. Not too far off. It gives the same generalized information. We have an equinox here. We do have artifacts on both sides. Tropes. We have our amateur sleuth. We have ancient evil reawakening. We have on Grok, we have secret supernatural abilities, quirky sidekick. We do not have a sidekick on Chat, but who knows? Maybe that'll be in one of the character lists later. We do have our motifs. We have symbolism for both. And let's see. I'm a little curious to see what's going to happen in the breakdown of the installment or episode itself. So I do see that we get another log line with Grok. So let's see. We have a premise. We have a log line here on chat. We have a log line over here on Grok. We also have our premise and our synopsis. So we have that on both sides. We also have our main character. So it looks like it's giving more or less kind of the same information. What do you think, Cece?
Yeah, they're consistent so far with each other. I did like that one side little character, that necromantic crow. I want to see
Right?
if chat gives us something like that because that was super cool.
That is cool as a little sidekick. That could also be her familiar, but I don't know. So it's interesting. Let's look at how it is showing us the main character. So let's take a look. Let's see. We still have the archetype, motivation, goal, strength, weakness, backstory. So it pretty much looks similar. I mean, that there's some differences here because they are two different stories, even though it's based off of the same general premise or synopsis.
They have very different backstories.
They do, right? Now,
Mhm.
I'm curious to see what it's going to do when it comes to fleshing out the backstories even more. Here on Grok, she's raised by her grandmother, a powerful witch. She has always felt responsible for the well-being of the community or for the town. And then here she grew up as the town oddity, using her knowledge to help others from the shadows. That's interesting. Let's see what happens there. Now, we also have supporting characters. Our supporting characters are broken down a little bit different. Now, we only have one here under chat as a supporting, but then we have 3 listed under Grok. So that's interesting.
Definitely is.
Yeah,
I feel like chat cheated us a little bit.
a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
that's interesting. Let's look at the antagonistic forces. So we have a dark entity, manifestation of past grievances on chat side. We have the dark entity on Grok, which we all know that a dark entity seems to show up frequently with AI, and you have to flesh that out. So definitely would be something that we would need to flesh out more. Motivation. So on Grok, it's to be free and spread chaos for that antagonist. On chats, it is to break free and spread darkness. So I guess chaos, darkness, the same general idea. Let's see. Oh, look at that. On Grok, the antagonist is born from the collective negative emotions and curses left unresolved over centuries. So that's interesting. But I guess I could go with the backstory on ChatGPT 4 with born from the town's collective unresolved dark past. I just feel like maybe Grok is giving me a little bit more information. What is your thought on that, Cece?
Yeah, it seems to state it more clearly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In more detail by far.
Oh, now look at this. This is interesting. So let's take a look at the narrative devices. We have the foreshadowing. So the foreshadowing on Grok is the old prophecy about darkness returning, whereas with chat, it's old weather patterns and dying plants hint at the weakening seal. We don't know a lot about the seal, so we would definitely have to find out more about that. But let's see, we have reoccurring, we have red herrings, we have a clue. Wow, look at how short the clue is on ChatGPT 4. A series of thefts at the local. Okay, so local little shop. We have the clue over on Grok is, let's see, a
Oh,
sealing spell. Okay,
yeah, an old grimoire.
but it's a decoy.
Yeah,
Now we have reasons
that's the
for
point of
both.
a red herring, right? It's to be a decoy, isn't it?
Yeah, both of them show the clue and the reason, but you get a little bit more spelled out on Grok. So we have the main point. Wow, the main point has quite a bit more on Grok. Do you see that?
I do.
Wow. So on Grok, it's discovering that the entity can only be sealed with a ritual involving forgiveness from the descendants of those who cast the original curse. That's interesting. For the main plot, but then the main plot on chat is discovery of the Guardian's tomb. Real clues, significant. Oh, we only have one real clue on ChatGPT 4, and look, we have two under Grok. Interesting. And then subplots, we have subplot 1, subplot 2. What are you thinking, Cece?
I want to read that subplot that chat has. I want to compare the two subplots real quick. Can you scroll?
Okay, I sure can.
Okay, so that one matches. Yep, they match. Interesting.
Yeah. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, now let's compare the storylines. Looks like.
Let me go up a little bit so we can see those. Whoops.
Yep.
A little too far. A is the quest. Both of them, it's for the quest. See, B is the personal growth of each character for a chat.
Pretty similar.
Yeah. And then the unified structure. We'll chat up a little bit more. Now, the thing that I noticed that it didn't do is give us storytelling enhancements on Grok. Now, is that a context issue, or I wonder if I prompt for that, if it'll give me more of that? Let me ask.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says. Oh, yeah, it was an oversight. Look at there. Wow, that's some really longer content there. Oh, wow, look at how many episodes it gave me. Now, I can tell you here under chat, under the storytelling enhancements, that's pretty much what I generally get unless I prompt chat to give me something more in depth on the series arc or on the detailed episode. I might ask it to flesh out additional episodes, and it will generally do that for me. So I found it interesting that whenever I asked, did you forget to give me the storytelling enhancements, that it gave me all of this information. Quite a bit of information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I know we're not going to take the time to flesh this whole thing out right now. So what I do want to do is go in, and I'm actually going to grab this bottom part of this prompt, which is a prompt that I use whenever I am inside of ChatGPT. And we actually have some GPTs for this, but I'm going to go ahead and just grab the actual prompt itself. This is for evaluating the synopsis and maybe troubleshooting or beefing it up. Let's see what it gives us.
So while these generate, let's take a second to visit on something.
Sure.
Say I'm a newcomer to the channel and this is my first experience, and I'm just curious, like, where are you getting, or where can I get these awesome prompts that you're using? Where can I find them?
We could go out to Amazon and look up Miragold or Romance in the Digital Age, and you can find some of those books out on Amazon, or you can go to miragoldprompts.com and you'll find some books there and some actual GPTs that you can click on, and a couple of other items that you can find that may be useful to you for storytelling or craft, or in the comments of this video, we can actually link some of that. What do you think, Cece?
Yep, I'm thinking we put some links in the bottom so people can find it and access these prompts so they don't have to create their own.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's see. Here's our evaluation. And I'm going to come back up here. I have the same prompt on both sides. Evaluate the current synopsis. It is letting us know enhanced synopsis for Guardians of Eldernest. Looking at this in Grok, it has repeated the title. Same thing in chat. We have a repeat of the title, the tagline, the genre, the tone, the theme, some of the world building, which looks comparable, but there are talking crows. That's cool in Grok.
Yeah.
I actually do like that the more I think about it.
Yeah.
Now let's see. We have world building, but after world building on chat, it repeats the tropes, the motifs, and the symbolisms on chat, but it doesn't repeat it on Grok. Now, do I need it repeated? No, because it's just a repeat of the same content. So I don't feel like I'm really missing anything there. But I am curious. I don't see that any of this has been changed except for here now it's saying personal demons on chat side for the symbolism.
Right.
Let's see. We have our characters again. Some of the information is a little bit different in the way, oh, look, she's an extrovert in Grok and an introvert in ChatGPT. So that's interesting. I wonder how different that would make our characters sound.
Yeah.
Now
Could
she
make the
is
story play
28.
out differently.
Yeah, very well may make her decisions and stuff different. So that's interesting. We do have some of the same information here. It's just presented a little bit different. We also have Thomas. Let's see, he's 30 on Grok and he's 32 in chat. So it gives me some more information there. So it repeated some of the same information. It has our, let's see. Oh, we have our forces. Do we have forces here? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Look, it actually gave us the minor characters, which is something that the prompt asked for. And take a look at this, Cece. We have a little bit more information on our minor characters as far as maybe what the archetype means. Whereas here under chat, it just gives us the archetype, but doesn't give us a description.
Yeah, it definitely fleshes out more.
I like that.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah. Okay, narrative enhancements. Here is where Grok was a little bit slimmer. On ChatGPT 4, we have the narrative devices showing up. Looks like a repeat of some of the same information, doesn't it? On chat. And then we have a subplot of a romantic tension between Thomas and Claire, Elijah's redemption arc, and Henry's rivalry. So we have some additional information here, and it talks about the pacing. Let's see. That's interesting. So let's go to the next section and see what we're going to turn up. I have another one for our major characters. And let's see what it gives us on our major character list. Now, what's interesting about this is that I'm going to ask it to give me the major characters here. But then right after that, I'm going to ask it for something deeper on our backstories. So let's see how much of a backstory it gives us on this versus when we ask specifically for the backstories.
Yep.
So it's keeping the ages. So it is giving us a little bit more information about the characters. It's pretty comparable. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say.
I'm thinking it's pretty comparable.
So
Let's
far.
see. Yeah. We have minor characters. So here it's giving us a little bit more on our minor characters.
Go up a little bit on Grok.
On Grok?
Yeah, yeah. Go up a little bit more. All right, now go up a little bit on chat. So the antagonist on chat, number 4, Henry Thorne. The antagonist force on Grok is the
The
shadow.
shadowy. Yeah.
Where's Thorne on Grok? Is he listed?
Let's see.
There he is.
Right here.
But doesn't say that he's the antagonist.
Nope. So he's not the antagonist here. Now, whenever we listed the synopsis, we didn't say who the antagonist was. So that's interesting that chat went ahead and gave us an antagonist who is an actual person, whereas Grok gave us the force. Yeah. So here it's interesting. Henry wants to uncover and preserve magical knowledge, and he wants to find a definitive answer or artifact in magic theory. Whereas, yeah, like you were saying, he is actually the antagonist on chat. So we don't have an antagonistic force in ChatGPT 4, but we have an actual antagonist. So here are minor characters, and this fleshed it out a little bit more. So we have 10. So 10, just like we have 10 here. It gives us the role and the connection. So I like that ChatGPT 4 gives us the role and the connection there.
Yeah.
But I don't have that in Grok.
No.
But I bet if I prompted for that, it would give that to me without any issue.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to not have to prompt, or maybe we'll build it into a prompt.
And I think it might be in the prompt. Let me go back and look. Let's see. 10 minor characters, first, last names, how they come into play in the story, and how they're related to or tied to the main characters. So technically, it should have done that.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe.
Vague. And we probably need to put something about their occupation.
Yeah, we could definitely do that too in a future prompt.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Grok this though. Did you answer this part of the prompt? And let's give it that. Well, see, it said that it missed it.
Yeah.
So it's not always listening. So that's been twice that it has not listened, right?
Yeah. Of course, it is in beta. I don't know.
That is true. It is in beta.
Change. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. You are so spot on there.
Because I think what chat is by OpenAI. OpenAI has had a couple of years on top of Grok to develop their stuff, right? Grok or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because
that name
hasn't been out for very long. Grok. I know.
I want to call it Grokzilla.
Grokzilla. That's funny. Now I'm in the character backstory. Let's see what the character backstory one does. Now, this one is going to ask it to list the characters again, the supporting characters, the impact on the growth of the main characters or plot. It also looks at the myth, lore, and legends. I want to see how all of that comes into play. Let's take a look at that. And I'm going to go ahead and hit go on that one. And let's put the same prompt over here. And let's compare and see what those come up with. So here it actually gave us the setting. We already know that it's the quaint little magic-infused town there. Here it started out with the genre and setting, also quaint little mystical town. We have Agatha.
Why did it change from cozy mystery to fantasy on genre?
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
And Grok didn't, I don't even see the genre.
I don't see it there. No. Interesting. I wonder if it was the prompt. Remember, the prompt says also specify if this is now, I don't list cozy.
Oh,
So I wonder if it didn't include that. Maybe the prompt should say sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal.
and
See,
mystery. I mean, there's so many
and
genres.
such to keep the story on track.
Yeah, yeah.
And see, you want me to run it again?
Let's see what happens with that little change. I'll be curious.
Okay, let's try it out and see.
All about fine tuning these things.
Oh, definitely. It's still saying a fantasy realm.
We need to look at our phrasing then.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Let's see. Yes, it can indeed remain within the cozy mystery genre, despite the details. Fantasy and mystery themes, but the tone towards fantasy. Interesting that it's leaning more toward fantasy now, because the original prompt was under cozy mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere along the way, it lost that amateur sleuth feel. And remember, at the very beginning, it talked about her being an amateur sleuth. So somewhere along the way, it lost something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good. Let's see. Let's just update that on both sides, just to remind it. But let's go back and look at what it gave us.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's go back up here. And just make sure I didn't go back too far. Backstories. Here we are. Backstory. It just interesting that it gives us the role, the backstory, physical and personal traits, impact on plot. It breaks it all down on ChatGPT 4, but on Grok, it just gives us just the backstory.
Hmm.
I mean, it digs a little bit deeper into it. Let's see, she feels the weight of protecting the town's balance, but is plagued by the doubt about her abilities. So it gives us some of the same information. It's just not broken out. Do you prefer the bullet or this summary?
Bullets.
The bullets?
It's easier to pull the data from it for me.
Yeah, that's true, especially if you're using something like, say, Pseudo-Write or another platform where it breaks up the different aspects of the character.
Or if I'm using my brain.
There you go. I don't mind it all together, but at a quick glance, what's showing up on chat is a little bit easier to follow.
Yeah.
And, it breaks down. So here are our main characters. It has our main characters as Agatha, Thomas, Elijah, and Henry on chat. And Grok, it has Agatha, Thomas, Henry, and Elijah. And then we have our supporting characters. What happened to our intro? Interesting.
It's not treating it like a character, maybe.
Let's see what it says. So this just shows you that regardless of the AI that you're in, you still have to have a conversation back and forth. And we are just lightly touching on this. We're not even going back and forth and scrubbing this to make sure that we're getting all the necessary information. We're just comparing right now. That just gave us a whole bunch of stuff on Jen. So here are supporting characters. Oh, look, on chat, it gave us some information on the town and the lore. Let's go back up and take a look at, let's see, we have investigative approaches. Let's see, let's go back up. Let's see, still a cozy. So now we're in the same location, town and important locations. And here we have town. So there you go. Same general information, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 locations in ChatGPT, but 4 in Grok. And then under the myths and lore, oh, it looks like this didn't finish right here. So we would have to prompt to have it continue that. Interesting. Hello.
No, it's trying to answer the question about the entity.
Because I didn't give it what I was asking about.
Yeah.
So here it is. Oh, look.
Nice.
Isn't that lovely how that happens?
Yep.
Wait, while that's pulling in, I will just go ahead and log back in. So nice of the chat to log me out from time to time.
Great timing.
Yeah, great timing. Yeah, it seems that we're having to prompt Grok to give us information. Now, I do that it gives me some additional information, but I'm having to prompt it because it keeps forgetting to give me some of the content. How do you feel about that?
I don't care for that. I don't care for that because I feel like this is a machine and I should be able to hold it to a higher standard than what it's delivering.
Yeah, I feel that way too. Let's see what it does with the world building. I want to see how much of the world building it's going to pull out for both of these.
But on the plus side, Grok does go into more detail in places where chat doesn't.
That is true. And I like that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, like it starts with landscape, climate, natural resources. So it is following the template. But look at how much more Grok is giving us.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look up how big of a context window Grok has. I'm just not sure how big of a context window it has. And especially since this is our first day actually playing inside of Grok. So you're playing in it with us live right here, right now.
Yeah.
Let's see, social cultures. We still have that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 over here too. Yeah, it looks like it's fleshing things out a little bit more. So interesting. So it is hitting upon things. Magic must be used responsibly, but what does that even mean? So again, we would have to go in and flesh out some of these vague areas.
Yeah.
So it's basically pulling the same content, of course, individually for each story. Technology or magic, it's pulling that. Religion and beliefs, it's pulling that on both sides. Characters and creatures. Oh, look, we have sentient trees. 2 magical wildlife like the songbirds. What do we have over on chat? So there are various mystical creatures, including protective tree spirits, okay, and mischievous fae. Interesting. It has prominent figures. So Agatha, Thomas, Elijah, and Henry are all pulling in.
So Thomas Henry Thorne.
Mm-hmm.
Bad choice on names. They're too similar in some ways.
Definitely would have to change those names. Spot on there. that would get really confusing as a reader when you're trying to read and it's so close together.
Yeah.
Unless it was meant to be that way for some weird reason, but I don't see that being a play on words here. I think for clarification, those names would have to change, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
Daily life customs. Yeah, look at that. You know what I noticed? On Grok, you don't get that same little wrap-up that you do on ChatGPT 4, where it's like, this comprehensive world-building framework ensures that yada, yada, yada. You don't get that over on Grok.
Does that make you happy or sad?
Actually, I don't mind it. It makes me wonder what kind of prose it would write. Would it still have those bows and ties, those bows trying to tie things up? Or would it actually end something on a cliffhanger? That's actually a video for another time, but that would be interesting to look at beat-wise.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to have it create some prose and see where it goes.
Mhm. Well, we can see what kind of, let's see what it does for, how many chapters do you think we would want this to have? Maybe 25? If we were doing that?
Ask it to see what it thinks.
Oh, let's do that.
Ask them both. I'm just curious to see if they come up with the same answer.
Let's see, one POV or two, past or present.
I hope it doesn't say two.
Yeah, it should only be one, I'm thinking.
And I hope it doesn't say present.
And in first or third. Or, yeah, let's see. Whoop. Let's just ask the same question for both. And we're off to the races. Let's see. Wow, do you see how fast Grok is like putting in that information?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's see. There's a breakdown to help. So the same way. So one of the things that I'm noticing with Grok is that you don't have that explanation at the beginning or at the end of the answer. So what do I mean by that? Here on Chat GPT, you have when structuring a cozy mystery, several factors will influence the decision. It goes all into that and then starts talking about the breakdown as where here, you just get the number of chapters. It doesn't go into a long spiel. What do you think?
Yeah.
This is interesting. It breaks it down to how many chapters you might need for each one of those areas. For introduction, the initial mystery or problem, clue gathering. That's interesting. I've not seen that before in chat. That's different.
Yeah.
Usually you just see this typical number of chapters, which here you have number of chapters. Interesting. Single POV, multiple POV, that's similar. Gives you a little bit more information in Grok. For this story, it is recommending a single POV on Grok, but we'll have to look further down on chat to see if it recommends, because usually chat will recommend tense recommendation, past tense. So it's giving you the recommendation right within that same area. Narrative perspective, recommended, third, limited. Interesting. So one POV, third, limited, and past tense is what Grok is saying.
Exactly what I would have recommended.
And then, so I guess this does a little bit, but it says chapters 20 to 25 chapters is what it's recommending. Oh, it's recommending a dual. I don't like that. Past tense and first person. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Here it does talk about third and first person here. Oh, look at this. 15 chapters to allow for a thorough exploration, whereas this one is saying 20 to 25. I probably would have gone with 20 or 25 chapters. How about you, Cece?
Yeah, probably 20.
About 20?
I like the way that Grok gives you a summary too, though.
I do too. I like the summary here. I'm surprised that we don't have something here that's summarized.
It is his summary, is the recommendation for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's true.
He
That's
just doesn't state it as a summary.
Yeah, that's true. Same thing. So they do the same thing. What do we want to prompt it for? How many chapters? 20?
Go for it. Whatever works. Let's see.
Okay. So let me go back up to the top.
Doesn't mean we won't add some if we need to.
Let's see. Actually, let's kill all this top part. And I'll just copy this one and put it over in Grok in a minute. This is a 25, so let's make that 20. We don't want it to be a monster, so let's do it as a cozy. Chapter by chapter. Okay, so here we don't want it to be each chapter. So we want one POV, right?
Yeah.
We're going to just say,
can we, why does it say PNR?
Oh, paranormal. I can take that out.
That's paranormal romance, PNR. I don't think we should.
I can put paranormal. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Good catch. All chapters should be from the protagonist POV, and we're going to kill all of that right there. We don't need anything from the love interest. Let's do 10 beats. And all of that looks good. So let me take that. And I'm just going to kill that and put the same thing there. And let's see what that does. So it's given us the same thing, day, time, characters. We've got characters here also. We have 2 characters with ChatGPT 3 listed for the first chapter on Grok. We have dialogue. I'm curious about the dialogue. Oh, what? Mira? Where'd that come from?
Mira Lockwood is the character.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Clara, what did you see? Your visions have never steered us wrong. Unusual. Let's see. Mira, have you noticed anything unusual about the grove? Okay. Story tone. Both of them are foreboding. Interesting. We have the hook, cliffhanger. It does break it down this way. I'm not sure about that. See how this one breaks it down. Look at how this one breaks it down. It breaks it down a little bit different. We have a first obstacle. I like the way this does better on chat. What is your thought?
Yeah.
I like the breakdown on chat better for that. And it's interesting, up to this point, wasn't Grok giving us beefier content? And now I feel like maybe ChatGPT 4 is giving us a beefier beat.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. We also have our visual, which is log swirling around. We have audio.
Yeah, but no
we
book.
also have visual. So that's cool.
Yeah, but no book.
Yep.
Cat has no hook.
Yep. It's not really a real hook. There's nothing there. Eyes wide with, okay, we really don't know what's happening or what kind of premonition. So I guess that could be, but how would Agatha know this?
Yeah, she wouldn't, but her eyes wide.
Yeah, would clue her into something is happening. So at least that would start with some action. whereas this doesn't on chat. Interesting.
Starts on 2. Your in media res starts on 2.
Yeah, enters the shop looking frazzled. Oh, yeah, it sure doesn't it? Interesting. So I bet if we had media res in there, I'll have to go back and look. Oh, look, transition into chapter 2, where this one gave us chapter 2. So is there a hook? As they leave the shop, she notices the town clock is stuck. It's an omen she can't ignore. So here, she notices a shadowy figure. Oh my gosh, what a shadowy figure at the end of the street.
Typical chat.
Yeah, that disappears when she blinks. Woohoo! Yeah, like the clock being stuck. That's interesting.
I do too, except for I don't know what the 909 means yet. So I'll be curious to see how that pans out.
Yeah, we would have to ask questions on that. Let's see. Now, does it pick up? This is our cliffhanger. So how does our hook start? Now, why are they here?
Let's read in the beats.
Yeah.
Go up higher. Strange shadows near sacred groves. They're going to check that out.
They're going to go check out the shadows. Okay, so I missed that earlier. Decides to go there, setting her jaw. She grabs her cloak. And that's why they are here. Let's take a look. I have to prompt it to give me the next chapter. Let's see, I have prompted that. I'm going to take out some of this because I don't need all of it. But I do like some of the content. Please continue with the next chapters. We don't need this because it is not a roadmap. We can keep that as a reminder, and we can kill this. I would tell it 2 and 3. Let's see what that does. And let's see if it continues. I'm going to grab this. Was there anything else you want me to add to this?
Not so far.
Should we say?
Yeah, put EN in front of media res. Yeah.
And let's go ahead and do that. I did the same thing. Hold on. Let me kill it 3. Sorry. That was my bad.
Do we need to?
Do we need to what?
Doesn't matter now.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I told it to go to the prior.
No, I was wondering if we get to open the parentheses because we had a closed paren, but not an open paren.
Oh, okay.
But probably not.
It's pretty intuitive. It should know. She hurries along the path to the grove. Now, are we also heading to the grove here? Yep, near the grove. Okay, so there are strange lights, so they're also going to the grove, which puts them here. Immediate action. So in media res helps there. I still like the audio sounds and that inside of chat. So I guess we could prompt for it inside of Grok, but I like that chat gives that to us. And it's interesting that chat pulls from that. And here, I know that some of that is because of what we have here. Action to keep the beats active and in real time use visual, audio, and sensory details. We have the same thing listed in our prompt for Grok, but Grok doesn't really do that.
Yeah, but
Although it
yeah,
does say that the air is filled with the scent of fresh bread and herbs. It's just not putting it in parentheses.
something that bears remembering is that you've been working with chat 2 years plus now. It's trained.
That's true. That's true. It is trained to pick up on some of the repetitive motions that I go through. So, yeah, that's true, Cece.
And Grok, this is day one.
Yeah, this is day one. That's interesting. Hear the sound. So we do have a sound here. We have a ripple of whispers. Yeah, so we do have content in here. I wonder if the more we use Grok, if it'll do the same thing that chat does and learn from my consistent use. Now, it doesn't learn in every single thread, but I know on Chat GPT, I turned on something that allows thread over thread to learn. And because I use some of the same prompts over and over again, it does pretty much pull in that same content, like you were saying, Cece.
Yeah.
Wow. So what do you think of the differences here? I'm kind of
Interesting.
impressed with Grok. I am actually impressed with it.
Yeah. So far, not bad for a
Es-
newbie.
yeah, especially being new. I can remember when chat was new. Now, the thing that I did find is that with Grok, I don't have anywhere where I can build my own GP type prompting system. I don't have an area where I can store some of my prompts the same way that I can with chat. So in chat, if I'm working on specific stories and I want to call any one of my GPTs, I can do that here. And I can also, if I'm inside of my chat, at any time, I can hit that at symbol and I can actually pull in any of the most recently used or pinned GPTs.
Maybe we
But
need to hit up Elon Musk. Let him know we
yeah,
need a little bit of something like that.
yeah, I would love to see a true comparison. Right now, I feel that I think Grok is doing really well, but I feel like because it doesn't have the same kinds of bells and whistles that GPT does, it'd be unfair to say that just because Grok doesn't have that ability to have something similar to a GPT, that it's not good. But I would love to see that functionality or something like it where I could store my prompts that I use over and over again and recall them inside of Grok.
Is doing better than chat did on day one for us.
That's true. And especially with it being so new, I'm not sure exactly how old Grok is.
I'm not
I'm
even.
going to ask. Let's see. How long has Grok been up and running? November 2023. Oh,
20, November 2023. Okay. Not even a
23,
year.
sorry.
Yeah.
Is that Grok 1? Grok 1 was released.
Hmm.
Comes from more, let's see. And what? I don't know what that was. I guess some hotkeys there. Let's see, Grok 2 and Grok 2 Mini. Huh, okay. Wow, that is a lot of stuff to look at. Okay. Oh, what is this? August 14th, saying that it's out now. Okay, so I guess around that time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. It really hasn't been out very long, has it?
Sure hasn't. Now, I don't want to cut you short, but we're coming up on about an hour in right now. So we need to think about getting this thing publicized.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's see how long chat's been out. Chat 3 came out June 2020. Wow.
Interesting.
Anything else you want to see before we wrap this up?
Not for me.
Oh, you know what? I do want to ask one other question. See where it says fun mode?
Oh boy, here
Let's
we go.
ask that.
Down the rabbit hole we go.
I'll just ask. We won't do fun mode. Oh, humor and wit, personality. Okay, so I guess it's more conversational. I probably wouldn't want to use fun mode if I am actually wanting to flesh out a story. That might be fun just for laughs, but I don't think I'd want to use it for work.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. I think we pretty much touched upon everything there. What do you think?
We did. And hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Listen, we need you to subscribe. We need you to like this video. We need you to do all the bells and whistles that you can to keep us going. And thanks for joining us and look forward to the next one. Have a great one.